All right, we're finally making this video. Finally making this video. Welcome to the sample game of Final Fantasy, the trading card game. I'm Magic Man.
I'm Torchwick.
And we're going to take you through a basic game. You've watched all of the, hopefully, watched all of the videos with details about phases and payment and stuff. And we will be reminding you of some of those things as we go slowly here. And that is one thing that I want to just kind of call out here, right? Torchwick, my kid and I, he's home for break, so we're finally able to make the recording. I've been getting busted up in the YouTube. Well, how about that demo game video?
Here it is, finally.
So we're obviously, just to call a few things out, we're not going to be playing like particularly meta decks. And we're not even going to be making the most optimal plays, right? We're not going to play like crazy to create fictional examples or anything, but you may be able to see something in our hand that you're like, that would be a better play in the position that they are in right now. That's not really the point of this game.
We'll go a little bit out of our way to hit things like certain monster setups or cards that may not normally hit the field in this situation.
But... yeah, nice example of, hey, here's auto abilities, here's action abilities. You know, here's a response on the stack, even though it may not be the most ideal of plays. And we probably won't finish the entire game here, but we do want to give you a walkthrough of some turns and how to pay for cards and put it all together from the other videos. So we have our 50-card deck. You have yours, and there is no more than 3 copies of any given ID card in here. And then we have our limit break decks. 8 cards, 8 limit break cards. Again, no more than 3 of any particular ID'd limit break card in there. So that's going to go off to the side for both of us. We don't get to see each other's, but feel free to pick up yours and look at it at any time. These don't have to be in any particular order. It doesn't matter. You're not going to draw or do anything random with those.
I just realized there's still one proxy in this deck that I really hope we don't end up hitting.
That's fine. We'll give the decks a shuffle. And then I will offer the deck to you. Careful with shaking the mic there. Careful with I'll offer the deck to you for the cut. Now, if you are a competitive player, Hobby Japan does mandate at this point, at least they did for Nats this year when I was commentating, that your opponent shuffle or cut. There is not an option to tap or not do it anymore. So there we go. Now, before either of us looks at any hands, we need to decide who goes first. So we'll roll dice. Do you want high roll, low roll? What would you like?
I'll take high.
High roll. Yeah. Any random method will work here. 6 and 3 is 9.
Not
5 and 2 is 7. I get the choice of whether I want to go first or second. I will take the first turn. So we'll both draw 5.
I want to mull anyway.
Hold on. I will keep. So I will keep these 5, and I'm ready to play. You want to mull?
I do.
So how do you mull?
5 on the bottom, 5 new ones from the top.
Any order you wanted on the bottom there?
Mm-hmm. And then that's it. Wherever this is, I have to keep it. You cannot mull more than once.
Yep. Now, the first couple of turns here, we will go slowly talking through the phases, but do keep in mind that we're going a little slower than an actual game goes, right? Once both you and your opponent are familiar with phases and when you can respond and things like that, you can certainly shortcut certain things. Like, and we'll give a few examples of those as we go. You're ready to play. I'm ready to play. I've chosen to go first. Since I'm going first, I have my activate phase. There is nothing to activate. I move to draw phase, and I'm going first, so I only get to draw 1 card this turn, and these are the 2 phases that nobody can do anything. There is no responding like in some other games. So I just draw, and now I am in my main phase 1, where I may play characters or cast summons. In this case, I am going to get rid of this, put this Sephiroth in my break zone to generate 2 Ice Crystal points, or CP, and I'll put this Scale Toad in the break zone to generate 2 more Ice Crystal points. So I have 4 Crystal points. They're all ice. And I will play G Deleter. Remember, backups enter dull. Now, G Deleter actually has 2 auto abilities. One, that when he enters the field, I get to draw a card. So that starts a stack. And then also, when G Deleter enters the field, choose a character. If I control 4 or more ice backups, dull it and freeze it. I have to choose a character, and it's not specific to yours. So I will choose G Deleter himself. There is no other target. Both of those go on the stack as auto abilities. And since they're both mine, triggered by the same event, I would like them to resolve in... we will do the dull freeze and the draw. So I will draw first, and then it will check to see if I have 4 characters or 4 more ice backups, and dull freeze. So I'll do the draw, and assuming you don't want to do anything here, that ability goes off and fizzles because there is no 4 or more ice backups.
And important to note, if I wished to, or in this case had even been capable of, I could have put something on the stack on top of that draw.
Yep, you could have put it on top of these, or you could have let me draw, and then we both have a priority window where we can do something after my draw has resolved, but before this goes off. And then after this goes off, we have a round of priority as well. So in between each of those things as a stack resolves. Now, this is an example of a shortcut. I'm going to pass. But it is important to note here that I didn't skip anything. I am in main phase 1. I played this. I drew. The stack is clear. I don't want to do anything else for main 1. I know I don't want to do anything for my attack phase. I know I don't want to do anything in my main phase 2. And the end phase doesn't have any triggers on the board right now, and I can't manually interact with that stack anyway. So I can shortcut and say pass and just give it to Torchwick. But if Torchwick wanted to do something, he doesn't have to accept that pass and could stop me and kick me back into any of those phases, right? You could say, hold on, I want to do something in your main 2.
Yep.
To put me in my main 2. And as long as I'm like, yep, that's fine, go ahead, you're free to do that. If Torchwick's fine accepting the pass, just say, okay. And we both acknowledge that main phase 1, combat, main phase 2, and end phase have priority shifts for each of us to do something and have completed with us doing nothing. That's what I mean by shortcuts.
Yeah.
So on to you. I will attempt to pass.
I will accept. I do go to my activate phase. It's just that I have nothing to activate. So I'll go to my draw phase. And this time I get 2. As I did not start the game, I did not go first.
And from here on out, we'll both do that.
Exactly. I'm now in my main 1, and may play characters or cast summons as I deem fit. In this case, I will ditch this Apkalu for 2 water CP, crystal points. And this Yuna, also for 2 water CP or crystal points.
So you've generated 4 just like I did, but I only use 3. I can't roll that 1. It just goes away.
I will also only be using 3, because I am going to play Waka, my own backup.
No carrying over, so you just lose that 1 CP.
So Waka has an auto ability. When he enters the field, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 water or category 10 card among them to your hand, return the others to the bottom of your deck in any order. I have nothing I wish to put on top of that.
So you're passing priority with Waka's ability on the stack.
Indeed I am.
I have no response. Waka's ability can resolve.
Alright. We will reveal the top 3, and I will take any water or category 10 card from among these.
Remember, reveal, I get to see these. If it was look, then
yes.
Only you would get to see those.
In this case, I'm going to take Sylvester. These go on the bottom in any order. In this case, I'm just going to leave them as they were. Bottom of the deck. There we go. This goes to my hand. And then, I actually have a little bit more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Still in main phase 1.
Yes. I'm going to ditch... This is also kind of a shortcut. I'm going to ditch 3 water cards at once. Each of these is still only 2 water CP, but it speeds it up a little bit if you pay for a card all at once.
It does. When you're newer, though, I would hesitate just to do that. It's fine for you and I, because yes. I can recognize, okay, you would have gone to 4, then Waka gave you 5, you are ditching 3, you should have 2 in hand right now, but that comes with experience, and you want to make sure that your opponent always understands what you paid. There should never, ever be a question of what you ditched or dulled to pay. And so even just saying, okay, I'm going to ditch these 3 and setting them by themselves is a nice way to move the game along, but still be very clear how you paid.
And you'll notice how I did it, is I normally fan them out on top, and then once there's been enough time for both people to recognize, then I'll reorganize.
So you have 6 crystal points, and
I do.
You certainly meet a water requirement. Are we about to see Sylvester?
We are, in fact, about to see Sylvester. He also has an auto ability. When he enters, I may search for a light forward and add it to my hand, and then I may play 1 forward of cost 3 or less from my hand onto the field. Am I good to search? I have nothing to do on top of that.
I don't think I have any. Yeah, I have no response. You are good.
I will go search for a light forward. And hopefully I will find it quickly so we can keep this rolling. There it is. Titus. All searches in this game, you have to reveal the card you search for so that you can prove it's actually a viable target. That includes a card you might see later called Thornton or similar effects that just let you search for anything. You still have to reveal that card.
Search is always reveal, shuffle, and then offer a cut. Now, Sylvester also has an action ability, so that could come into play later.
We now have to resolve the second part of his auto ability.
Yep.
Which you could respond to just as well as you could in the first.
The board is yours, friendo.
Okay. Then I will play a forward of cost 3 or less. It's going to be that Titus I just grabbed.
I don't think I get a window there.
It's a then.
Okay, you're good. So you're playing Titus.
Yes. He's going to... He's also going to search for another card. In this case, we're searching for a card named Jekt, Yuna, or Waka, and adding it to my hand. He also has a cost reduction effect that we didn't use here, but just for the sake of explaining everything. The cost required to cast Titus is reduced by 1 for each Category 10 forward you control, so I could have gotten him out for cheaper if I had some Category 10 characters and wanted to play him normally.
You're fine. No response. We can clear the stack up with the search.
Yep. I'm going to grab another Waka.
Seems good. For me, stripping that deck of X-Bursts. That feels good.
In my case, it's just stripping it of backups I already have on the field. And that will be all from me. So this will go to my hand, having been revealed. And I will attempt to pass, skipping through... Not skipping those phases, but...
None of it is skipped. I will... Nothing to do in your main 1, nothing to do in your combat, nothing to do in your main 2. I'll let you go to end phase, and it becomes my turn. So we will go to active phase or activate phase, and G Deleter gets up. So now I have a backup that I can dull to generate 1 crystal point of CP. I'll go to draw phase and draw 2 cards. And then, in my main 1, we will start by ditching a Buckaboo for 2 ice CP, and we will dull G Deleter to give me a 3rd ice CP. So this time I am paying 3. And we're going to play Quistis, who has 2 auto abilities, but the second one does not pop off because she only gets it when she's at damage, when I'm at damage 5 or greater. So the only auto ability that I will get is when Quistis enters the field, which is right now, I get to reveal the top 4 cards from my deck and add an ice card from them to my hand. So I have nothing else to do. I will pass priority with that on the stack to you.
I also have no responses.
Let's go ahead and resolve that. That's 1. Reveal, you get to see these. So 3 and 4. And I get an ice card, and you have 2 in hand. I know one of which is a Waka. And I'm not worried about that guy. Seymour would have been really great to start this turn out with. And wouldn't be terribly bad for the next turn. But I think I might go a slightly different direction here. I think I'm going to take the lock. And we'll put these 3 on the bottom in any order. Yep.
Yeah, even we have to read the exact wording of some of these cards.
And then, still in main 1, I'm going to ditch Zalera for 2 ice CP to play that lock. Now, when Locke enters the field, he's got a lot of text here for a 2-cost 5,000 power forward. When Locke enters the field, you are going to draw a card, and then we're going to randomly have you discard 1 after you've made that draw. Now, anytime you have to discard 1 or more due to my summons or abilities, if the card you discard is a character, I get to dull freeze a character. If it's a summon, I get to draw a card. And those are all different auto abilities. There's actually 3 of them here. So the first one that's on the stack is the only one that applies now. When he enters the field, you draw a card and randomly discard one. I have nothing else I want to do. Priority is yours.
I have no responses, so we shall resolve.
You get to draw, and now he does not. We are in mid-resolution, so
Yeah.
if he drew a cool summon, tough nuggets, we are in mid-resolution, and randomly we have to decide this, so this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
That is 5.
You got the Waka.
So that is a character. Forwards, backups, or monsters are characters. When you discard a card due to my abilities, if that discarded card is a character, Locke gets to dull freeze a character. Remember, freeze just means it won't activate on your next active phase. And so since this guy has an action ability that requires dulling him as part of the cost, I would like to pin him down with a dull freeze. That will also potentially stop him from being able to use that backup to generate CP next turn.
I have no
So
responses.
that is on the stack.
I have no responses.
Okay.
I'm going to represent that by turning him upside down. Not strictly part of the rules, so
Right.
if somebody chooses not to, that's perfectly fine. It's just an easy way to keep track of frozen characters.
Yep. And remember, it is both of our responsibility to control the board state here. If triggers are mandatory, even if they aren't favorable to me, I have to tell you if you miss a mandatory trigger. Even though I'd really, really like to not have that go off, it's not an option. Now, optional triggers that are choose up to, well, you can choose 0, or you may do something. I am not obligated to remind you of those. But things like, when this enters the field, choose one character, dull, and freeze it. If there are valid targets, even if you forget, it is my responsibility to remind you, and we can both get warnings and cautions and things like that in a tournament if we fail to do so. I would like to go straight from main 1 to end phase. I have nothing I'd like to do. I'll attempt to pass the turn through combat and main 2 to you.
I will accept the pass.
On you.
In my activate phase, I'll activate Waka. Sylvester is frozen, so he will not activate. However, when you turn him upside down like this, part of the reason it's easy to keep track of is you just turn him back to dull.
Yep.
And that represents the one turn that he was frozen.
Yep.
I would activate Titus, but he was already active, so I will now go to my draw phase.
Sure.
Draw 2. And go to my main phase 1.
You are in it.
Now, ooh, that's interesting. I would like to go to combat.
So you don't want to do anything in main 1.
No.
You would like to pass priority and exit main 1 and enter combat.
If you will allow it.
Yeah, I don't want to do anything in your main 1. We can go to your combat phase. That is fine.
Alright.
Now we are in what is called attack prep, colloquially known as attack prep. That's not the official words. This actually happens at a different place in the rule. But we're not going to get bogged down with like terminology and stuff here. We are, before you have declared an attack, you have priority as the turn player, and I have priority in case we want to cast a summon or use an ability prior to anybody declaring an attack.
I would rather not, though. So I will pass priority.
And I have nothing that I want to do. You are clear to declare an attack.
I will go ahead and declare an attack with Titus, dulling him in the process because he is not brave.
And again, we have a priority shift on that attack declaration where you could cast a summon or use an ability. I could respond. I assume you're doing nothing?
I'm passing priority.
Yep. And this is one of those areas where we can go much faster if we are experienced. Like, he can just say combat, and by me saying yes, he can assume that I don't want to do anything, and he just swing with Titus, and then maybe I just jump straight to taking damage, right? Yeah. We know the game enough where if I said, hey, I want to do this, he would stop me. But that requires an opponent that's experienced, so we'll take this one slow. So that moves us to block declaration. I really don't want to lose Locke in a 7,000 power to 5,000 power battle. Yes, Locke would deal 5,000 damage to Titus, but I don't really think I want to follow up to try to get that Titus off the board. I think it's more valuable to leave lock here for now. So I'm going to declare no block, and if you are not going to respond during the damage resolution of no block, I will take a damage here.
You may take your damage. I have no responses.
I take damage by flipping the top card of my deck face up and putting it off to the side. If I get 7 cards over here, that is the end of the game. I have lost. Rufus is not an X-Burst, so there is no effect for taking damage. And now we kind of keep doing this loop in combat as often as you would like to swing.
In this case, I have no other forwards, so I would like to leave combat and enter my main 2.
You are clear to enter your main 2.
All right, I would like to pass.
Okay, I will accept the pass, and I will go to active phase, and we'll start to pick up a little speed here. I'll go to draw phase and draw my 2. I'll drop it on the floor because I'm a cheater.
Good job. I'll try and keep them entertained while you pick it up.
I'll switch it for the 5 other cards I had down there. And now I will go to my main 1. And you have how many cards in hand?
I have 4.
4. Okay. I would like to dull Quistis for 1 CP. I would like to get rid of Mr. Seath for Kate Seath for 2 crystal CP.
Crystal CP.
Yeah, crystal
Ice,
points. Yeah.
CP.
Ice CP. And then I'm going to get rid of Rufus, a good card, but I'm going to get rid of him for now, for 2. So that is a total of 5. And I will use that to cast Seymour. Now, when Seymour enters the field or attacks, I may pay, so optionally, I may pay 1 CP, and it's not of any particular color. When I do so, I can select up to 2 of the following actions. I can choose a dull forward and break it, choose up to 2 characters, dull them and freeze them. Characters are forwards, backups, and monsters. During this turn, the cost required to cast my next summon is reduced by 2, or my opponent discards a card. So I would like to, because this is a may, when he enters, I may pay 1. Let's kind of pause right there. That's what's on the stack. That's on the stack. I have nothing else I want to do before I have the option to pay. Do you?
I do not.
All right. I will pay the 1. By paying the 1, when I do so, I have put another ability on the empty stack. And I'm going to choose to break a dull forward and have you discard 1 card, or the 2 of the 4 that I would like to choose.
Okay.
And so now that is on the stack for you to respond.
I will respond to that.
Sure.
And we're actually going to get to see a couple of things happen here. First off, I will discard this for 2 water CP, and then this for 2 more water CP.
So you have 4 water CP to do something with.
Indeed, I do. I'm going to play Luzaf, one of the few cards that actually has back attack.
Yeah.
Which means that you may play him at any point that... I forget how they officially word it, but at the same time
summon.
you could...
Yeah, it's the same speed as a summon. You can play back attack allows you to play a character at summon speed, or instant speed, depending on your
That's the terminology I was trying to avoid, but that's how I think about it, too. When Luzaf enters the field, another auto ability, choose 1 forward you control, return it to its owner's hand. When you do so, your opponent selects 1 forward they control, put in the break zone. I will choose 1 forward I control.
So we've got Seymour trying to target Tidus for breaking because he's dull and making you discard. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you have responded with Luzaf attempting to put Tidus back into your own hand, causing me to then get rid of 1 of my forwards.
This is also worded the same way Seymour is. It's a auto ability, and then usually you want to look for the word when, and that will tell you you're triggering another auto ability. Yep. So that second part is its own ability.
When X, do Y is usually the auto ability. Well, I can't do anything about that, so we're going to let Luzaf resolve, which means Tidus gets to go back to your hand.
He now hits his second bit when I do so.
When you do that,
your opponent selects 1 forward they control, put it in the break zone.
That's going to be lock, unfortunately. I think Seymour is a little stronger in my current situation. Now,
Luzaf
has resolved, and now we have Seymour, who is still attempting to break a dull Tidus and make you discard. But there's no dull Tidus anymore. The target that I had chosen is gone. or has become illegal, and maybe you've given them protection. In this case, they're just flat out gone. Now, interestingly, and I don't want to get into too many ruling questions, but if you have ruling questions, by all means, throw them in here. I've answered them all on all the previous videos. I'm not going to stop now. The way I chose two things here, I chose to choose one dull forward to do something, and discard a card was the second ability. And since my entire ability there only has one target chosen, and that target is gone, I lose the entire ability. Mm-hmm. So not only does Tidus not break, but you do not have to discard a card either, since my target is gone.
Actually, a little bit of Christmas land that actually happened here.
Kind of a nice response there with the water deck. And, gets you a backup on my turn that you'll be able to use for CP on your turn. I think that kind of cripples my turn, so I would like to just pass.
I will accept it.
On you.
Activate phase. Go ahead and activate my backups. Draw a phase. Draw 2. Trying to pick up a little speed like we said. Those were not a great 2, I'm going to be honest. So maybe we should go fishing for some better cards. I'm going to ditch a Sahagin Chief for 2 water CP, and a Siren for 2 more. Mm-hmm. And then I will dull Luzaf for 1, and Waka for 1. I now have total 6
water CP.
And going to continue my teaching moments trend here. I'm going to be the first one to use a limit break card.
Okay.
In this case, I would like to cast Lunafreya.
Well, 6, and you have more than 1 water CP, so that is illegal. But you're not quite done paying.
No. It has Limit Break 2, which means I have to take 2 of my Limit Break cards out of what I still have here and reveal them to my opponent. In this case, I'll choose the Emperor and Sid Highwind.
Right. And now you can no longer use those 2.
Indeed. Which means I've effectively put myself at 5 Limit Break cards left that can be cast or used to pay this Limit Break cost on the card.
Right. So you are all paid. What does Lunafreya do?
When Lunafreya enters the field, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 card among them to your hand, and return the others to the bottom in any order.
Easy enough.
If the card added to your hand has an X-Burst, you may trigger its X-Burst effect, and it specifies this effect is put on the stack. If you'd like to explain that while I reveal...
That's just talking about the whole idea of X-Burst not being able to be responded to over here. Again, I don't want to get into deep rulings, but if you have questions, by all means, put them in the chat there. So you have 5 cards there, 2 of which are X-Bursts, so that's cool, but I know Realm is kind of important to your deck here, so...
So much so that I am, in fact, going to take the Realm.
Okay. So you don't even get the option of executing the free X-Burst, since Realm is not an X-Burst.
Since these can go in any order, I will reorder them, and then I will put them on the bottom. And I will try to pass.
3 in hand, 1 of which is a Realm. I will accept the pass. I will activate, then we will draw, and now we will be in main 1. And yeah, I think I just kind of have to start going for some stuff here, huh? I'm going to try to just go straight to combat.
I will allow it.
All right. I'm going to swing with Seymour, and he gets that same auto ability when he enters and when he attacks. So on the stack, I have the ability to may pay 1.
You may?
I will pay the 1.
All right.
This time, however, I would like to choose that you need to dull and freeze these 2 characters and discard 1 card.
I have no responses this time.
Awesome.
So I will
That's what we like to see.
Both of these and discard a card.
All right. Still got that Realm, but it's going to cost a fair amount to get it out there, and yeah.
I will
We'll see what happens.
Declare no blockers.
All right, then. Seymour deals you damage. I have no responses to any of that sequence.
Top card, takes an over. There we go.
I would like to go from combat to my main 2.
You may.
And I would like to dull G Deleter for 1 CP. I would like to get rid of Shiva for 2 more CP, giving me a total of 3. Mm-hmm. And I would like to play a G Deleter. Again, I am not at 4 more ice backup, so I don't get the second effect, but I would like to draw the card on entry.
Go ahead.
And then I think just to make things extra spicy for that Realm, because that's going to be not great for me, I'm going to ditch Biblos for 2 ICP, and I'm going to play a Laswell. When Laswell or a Job Knight enters my field, I get to choose a character and dull and freeze it, and at the end of each of my turns, if a Job Knight I control has attacked, you will have to discard. I would like to Dull Freeze this Waka.
Yes.
And I'm going to go to my end phase. Now, Laswell is going to check here. At the end of my end phase, each of my turns, an auto ability goes off while Laswell's on the field. And he wants to know if a job knight I control an attack. That is on the stack. It is looking. I did have one attack by Seymour, but his job is Summoner, so I don't have any... there is no ability to fully enter the stack here. It's trying. I don't want to confuse things here, because it's at the end of each of my turns, if a job knight attacked, an ability goes on the stack to make you discard. It tried, but there was no knight that swung, so empty stack, nothing happened. And the end phase ends, and it's on you. And I have one card in hand.
Activate, and then draw. And then I really wish you hadn't frozen that Waka.
Yeah, my whole thing was if you want to play that realm, it's going to cost you your entire hand to get some monsters and maybe draw a card or two on the monsters.
I am going to do it, though. So
you're going to have to overpay.
Yes. 2 water CP, 2 water CP, and then this is why I wanted to hold on to 2 more water CP. Maybe you'll see why it's important later, maybe not. We'll see. But I will play the realm. I'll lose that 1 extra water CP.
Yep.
When realm enters the field, I may search for up to 1 monster of cost 1 and up to 1 monster of cost 2 and play them onto the field. Is that alright with you?
I have no response.
Alright, I'll go ahead and do that. My monster of cost 1, if I can find it, is going to be an Opkalu. There it is. And my monster of cost 2 will be this Tomberry. Both of them enter the field at the same time, and they both have the same auto ability to draw me a card. Being the turn player, I could order those in whichever way I like, but seeing as they're both draw a card, I will just choose to do Tonberry first for no particular reason.
You are clear to draw the Tonberry card.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Careful. I will draw the Tonberry card.
Technically, you could do something here if you wanted to. So could I.
I will opt not to.
You could draw the Opkalu card.
All right.
You're good.
I really wish that you hadn't frozen that Waka. I will go to combat.
You are clear to enter combat.
Am I clear to declare attackers?
Now remember, I could say I want to do something at the end of his main one. He doesn't... I don't have to do something at the beginning of his phases if I didn't want him to go to combat. But you are clear to swing as well.
I will swing this Luna Freya.
7k against 5k. We've been here before, and I feel like Laswell might be able to give me a little more value as we start to go here, the longer it lives. So I will opt to declare no blocks.
Okay. I'm good to go to damage resolution.
Let's take that damage. There's a Seymour as damage 2.
Pretty happy with that. I will go to my main 2.
Sure.
I'm going to do something a little bit weird. I'm going to use Tomberry's action ability, which is a price or a cost of discard 1 card.
Yep.
And the ability itself is, until the end of turn, Tomberry becomes a forward with 2,000 power, and when he deals damage to a forward, break it. Importantly, I can only use that once a turn.
Correct.
I'm going to discard, this is a proxied card, but...
That's fine.
I will discard a card to turn Tomberry into a forward until the end of turn.
I have no response, so he can become a forward.
Lovely. I will now pass. In my end step, he will cease being a forward. That's it.
Is there something wrong with you, boy?
No, it's I don't want you to get any effects from me discarding, and I can only do it once a turn. So I will discard a card here, and if you try and make me discard...
yeah, it's cute.
So now I get to either...
It's only good if you absolutely hate the cards, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you saw one of them is Wolf 4 that I can't play.
I will go to active phase.
So I'm trying to save this card by basically threatening, hey, if you make me discard it, I'm going to at least get a little bit of use.
The Tomberry, who has an interesting damage ability anyway.
Yes.
Draw 1, draw 2.
It's funny how we said we were going to try and avoid, like, fictional scenarios for this, and then we end up with 2 really weird scenarios.
That's true.
Completely naturally.
In main 1, I am not going to do anything. I would like to go to combat.
I will allow it.
Okay. I'm going to first... I'm going to first swing with Seymour, who triggers that auto ability, giving me the opportunity to pay 1 if I would like to.
I have no responses.
I would like to pay the 1. This time I will do it by ditching a card. So
Ooh.
I lose that extra CP. And now I get to choose 2 things here.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to choose to dull freeze these 2.
Okay.
These 2 characters. And discard a card.
All right.
So those are on the stack.
Yes.
Dull freeze and discard.
In response, I will discard this card to Tonberry's action ability. Importantly, that is the cost, so he cannot interfere with me discarding that, though
Correct.
he can now respond to the ability itself.
I will not. Tomberry can
All right.
become a forward.
I'll
And
move
now
him
we
up
have
to the
Seymour
forwards.
on here trying to dull freeze these 2 and make you discard a card.
And I have
You don't have a card, but
no
that's not
responses.
a target, so
Yeah,
no responses.
I have
dull
nothing to
freezes.
play if I wanted to, so
Yep.
that works.
And Seymour is swinging now that we have a clear stack, and neither one of us wants to do anything.
I'll declare no blockers.
Seymour deals you a point of damage.
Ooh, I'm okay with that not ending up in my hand. That'd be a rough one to hold on to right now.
I'm going to swing with Laswell.
I will declare no blockers.
You are clear to take the damage.
Ooh, Titus. Now he has an X-Burst. Since I did take him as a point of damage, we will get whatever ability has the X-Burst tag next to it. In this case, I may search for a card named Jekt, Yuna, or Waka and add it to my hand. However, I'm going to opt not to, because I know what
X-bursts are
happens.
always optional.
Yeah, I know what happens at this end phase, and I do not feel like getting a card in my hand just to have to discard it.
Fair enough. I would like to move to my main 2.
You may.
All right. In main 2, I would like to play for my limit break, Victora.
Mm-hmm.
And that costs 4 crystal points, so we'll give you these 2. 3, 4. I wanted you to block with Tonberry and walk into a Diva taking its abilities away. That's the 4, but I also owe you 2 limit break cards. One of them is going to be a Luso, and one of them is going to be a Surgus. So you get to see those. And when Victoria enters the field, first off, if my opponent has no cards in hand, Victoria gains 3,000 power. So right now, Victoria is 10k. When Victoria enters the field, I can choose a forward. If my opponent has 2 or less cards in their hand, deal at 7,000 damage. I would like to hit this Tonberry with 7,000 damage, please.
I have no responses, so it will...
And
That important to note, I keep saying that, I'll have to come up with new phrases, but for right now, that first effect of Victoria is what's known as a field effect.
correct.
So that is not something you could respond to, or
Nope.
I could respond to, even if I had responses,
Nope.
because there is no passive priority there.
Yep. And it's going to fluctuate. The minute you draw, you're going to have greater than 0 cards, so she'll be 7 again.
Yeah.
And I will pass to you.
Okay.
We will hit my end phase. This time, a knight did attack, so Laswell does try to make you discard a card, but you have no card to discard, so
Like-
nothing happens.
Way out of my way to make sure I had nothing to discard. I'll go to my activate phase, and then my draw phase. Oh, those are some interesting cards. What have we got over here?
And I have 1 in hand with 1
Okay.
backup up.
Alright. I will go to combat.
Wow, jumping right to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have 2 cards in hand, so my Victoria is 7. You have a 7 Luna Freya. You have a 4 Realm. You have 2 cards in hand and 1 backup up.
Mm-hmm.
You are clear to go to combat.
I will swing Luna Freya.
Now, if I trade you this Luna Freya, it does allow you to play another Luna Freya, but you wouldn't be able to do it this turn. And then Realm would be giving a free point of damage on me. So I either take the Luna Freya damage, and then you don't swing with Realm, or you do because you want to play another one, which would have to be next turn anyway. I think I am actually going to declare a block this time with Victora.
Alright. I have no responses.
I have none either, and in damage resolution, both are 7,000 power. Nobody has first strike or anything that would modify this, so they punch each other at the same time, and they both die.
They do go
They
to the
technically
break zone,
break,
but
yeah,
then,
they go to the break zone, but since mine's a limit break card,
as is mine.
as soon as it hits the break zone, it goes to our face-up pile.
Now, we will cycle back to declare attackers,
You are good.
and I will do exactly that.
I will take that damage.
All right.
A Biblos, no X-Burst.
I would like to pass.
2 cards in hand with a pass. Active phase, draw phase, main 1. 2 cards in hand, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I think so we could do that, right? That's not terrible. I would like to go to combat. Nothing in main 1.
I have no responses.
I would like to swing Seymour with an auto ability to may pay 1 CP.
You may pay.
I will pay that 1 CP, and I would like to choose to have you discard 1, and I think I just want to continue to keep these guys frozen. I don't want to break Realm because that would give you the opportunity to play another one.
I am okay with this. Well, I'm not okay with it, but I will let it resolve.
And Seymour is still swinging.
No blockers?
Clear to take the damage.
Even though I did not have anything that could block there, you do still have to say. Because there is still priority shifting there.
So you have an X-Burst.
I do. Remora has me choose a forward, draw a card, then until the end of turn, it loses 2,000 power for each card in your hand. I wish I had gotten that with one more card in my hand. I will opt to trigger it, targeting the Laswell.
Okay, so you get to draw the card.
And then he loses
4,000 power. Now, since that's just a power reduction, that means if I swing with Laswell now, he only deals 1,000 damage, and he can only take 1,000 damage. A power reduction impacts both numbers. Before I decide to swing with Laswell or not, may I see your break zone?
You may.
Please remember that your break zone, your field, your damage zone, and your face-up limit breaks, these are all public zones to me, and if he had anything removed from game, that would be public to me as well. I can't obviously check his deck or his hand, but I can flip through these, and so what I'm kind of looking for is, have I seen another realm earlier in this game? I have not. I don't want you to be able to get 2 more monsters again. I've been kind of good at keeping you off of particular numbers here. But at some point, I have to deal with things, right? I would like to go to, or stay in combat and swing with the Laswell.
I have no blockers.
You are clear to take damage.
I will do it. Sahagin.
Well, that was a little risky, because if you had gotten another Remora...
Yeah. Believe me, I was hoping.
But the draw on the Remora actually kind of interferes with my plans a little bit.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Makes me feel a little bit better about it.
It's not great. It's not great. Because I really wanted to do something, but now if I want to do it, I have to pay more, and I don't like paying more.
You could just pass.
I could. I could just pass. I may.
Oh.
No, I don't think I can. Can I? I probably can. Go ahead. I will attempt to pass to you with 3 cards in hand and 2 backups up.
Right. I will remind you that in your end phase you have a trigger.
Okay. Well, I was attempting to pass, yeah. So
Yes.
I got to get to end phase there. And a knight did attack, so please discard 1.
Alright. Activate phase. Draw phase. And then I will generate 2 water CP and a 3rd water CP for Lena. All cards in my break zone cannot be removed from the game by my opponent's summons or abilities. She also has an action ability that is remove 12 water cards in your break zone from the game. If you, it's not phrased as if you do so. That is the price.
Yep.
And then choose 1 water forward in your break zone.
Get rid of the 12, : do this.
I wasn't quite sure how to phrase that.
That's an action
verbally.
ability. Cost, : ability.
Anyway, it's choose 1 water forward in your break zone, play it onto the field. I can only do that during my turn. Now, importantly, as there was no action ability there, or any sort of ability going off,
there was no stack.
Exactly.
So I don't get a priority shift here to do anything yet.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so I can save, 7 of these cards. Brilliant. I would like to use Lana's action ability.
All right, let's get rid of 12 water cards.
That's what I'm going to do. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There we go.
Perfect. So those are removed from game now.
There are a couple ways you can show that. Off the mat is a frequent
Usually
one.
the safest.
Also,
Usually
sideways.
the safest. The sideways with the break zone on top
I'm going to do off
can
the
get
mat.
a little sneaky
Yeah.
sometimes.
I only really do the sideways if it's like 3 or 4 cards.
Yeah.
Since there's 12, I'm just going to put them off the mat.
All right, so now you have to choose.
One of the cards, specifically a water forward, remaining in my break zone. In this case, I'm going to choose Leviathan, Lord of the Whirl.
And you are trying to bring that back onto the field.
I sure am.
I have no response. You can bring that back onto the field.
When he enters the field, choose up to 1 forward opponent controls, up to 1 backup opponent controls, and up to 1 monster opponent controls. Return them to their owner's hands. Also, when a character is returned from the field to its owner's hand, choose a forward opponent controls. It loses 9,000 power until the end of turn.
Okay, now I just want to, because we're going to have a little bit of a stack here, I do want to point out that, remember from our videos, choose has to be targeted on the play here. So you do have to choose your targets now to get that ability on the stack. That choose a forward, choose a backup, up to 1 forward, up to 1 backup, and up to 1 monster.
Yes.
So I do get to know those targets. Select is different. It happens at resolution. So if I had to select a forward, you would not get the knowledge of which forward I intended to choose until that ability was going to be resolved. So I do get to know who you would like to target to return to my hand.
I would like to target Laswell and the active G deleter.
Okay. So these are the targets to return to my hand. And if I just let that resolve, these 2 things are going to come back to hand, and then you are going to get to choose 2 forwards for a 9k, up to 2 forwards, because you had 2 returned, for a 9k power reduction.
I could even choose the same forward twice, as it's
You
2
could.
instances of the ability, not 1 instance targeting multiple.
I don't think that's good for me, so I would like to respond
You may.
before anything bounces. So we're going to put this on the stack on top of Leviathan trying to return these to my hand. I'm going to dull the G deleter for 1 CP and ditch this Shantoto for 2 CP, giving me 3. And I'm going to cast this Shiva that makes all characters' opponent controls lose all of their abilities until the end of the turn. And if I had cast that with only CP produced by backups, I would have gotten to draw a card, but I did not. So this takes away all the abilities. Now this brings up one of the most common questions I get judging things or talking to people about how to play. This ability is on the stack, and on top of it, I am trying to respond and blank all of the abilities. Gun, bullet, okay? By taking away all the abilities, I cannot stop the bounce that is already on the stack. That ability has already been fired from the gun, and my summon is just deleting the gun. The bullet is still on its way. But by doing this, I am blanking Leviathan before these get bounced, so that he won't have that text that causes 9,000 power losses, is what I'm trying to do. So I would like to cast that Shiva.
I have no responses.
So Shiva responds, and nobody has any abilities on your side anymore. I have no response for Leviathan. Do you want to do anything between those?
No. No, I do not.
So G Deleter and Laswell do come back to my hand.
I will proceed to combat.
But now Leviathan didn't see them, or doesn't have the ability that cares about seeing them come back to my hand.
Yes.
You are... Oh, yeah, Realm could swing. Yeah, you're good.
And I'm going to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I will take that.
Yep. On you.
All right, active phase.
And I'm pretty sure I've
Draw
lost the game.
phase. I don't know, I got to get 2 in there. You're at 5.
Oh, yes. I thought I was at 6.
No,
There's a chance.
No. So you're saying there's a chance.
It's not pretty, but there is one. There's a chance.
1 card in hand. Okay, so I think we go these 2 to replay the Laswell you put back in my hand.
Yes.
And when he enters the field, we'll dull freeze this character.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pay 2 for Ice CP to bring out another Victora. And since you have 2 or less cards in hand, I will attempt to deal Lena 5,000 damage, or 7,000 damage, and I owe you those 2 limit break cards.
That can resolve.
And then I think I need to be a little bit careful here because you could get some bouncy bounces on your turn.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think putting you at 6 would be kind of important. So I will attempt to move to combat.
You may.
I am going to swing Seymour, and I have the option to pay 1.
Would you like to?
I will decline to pay 1 this time.
Intriguing.
So just a 9k attack.
No blockers?
You're clear.
I forgot he was still in here.
Well, yeah, Leo payoff.
Yeah.
And at that point, I will attempt to go to end phase. No knight attacked, so no ability enters the stack from Laswell. And as long as you let me, it's yours.
Activate. Draw. Ooh, that is interesting.
Those are cards, huh?
They're good cards, even. Wow, that really worked out. Assuming you don't do something horrid to me with those 2 cards in your hand, but you can't. It can't be another Shiva. I guess it could be the 1-drop Shiva, but I'm okay with that. That really worked out. That's all right. I will draw 3 backups, each of these making 1 water CP for a total of 3 water CP.
Okay.
I will cast this Leviathan.
Sure.
Choose 1 forward I control and 1 forward opponent controls. Return them to their owner's hands.
Yep.
I will choose Realm and Victoria.
Yeah, that happens. I have no response.
Both of these are returned to hand.
So technically, Victoria went to my hand, but is a limit break card, so it immediately goes there.
Leviathan has seen 2
Saw
cards
both
returned
of
to their
those.
owner's hands, so he will deal a 9k power loss to each of them. I will target Laswell and then target Seymour.
Yep. Anytime a power loss takes power to 0 or below, they resolve to the break zone. Interestingly, from a rules perspective, these characters did not break if it was important. They just resolved to the break zone because their power went way down.
Typically, that's only important if a card says it cannot be broken.
Right.
That's a good way to get rid of it.
Yep.
I will then ditch this Leviathan Lord of the World for 2 water CP, and I will play a Cleone.
Yep.
When either player casts a summon, put Cleone into the break zone. If you do so, cancel the summon's effect. When Cleone is put from the field into the break zone, draw a card.
Sure.
I will pass.
I will have my active phase. I will have a draw phase. And now I will be in main 1.
That draw really saved me. That summon was amazing. It's almost like I built the deck well or something.
Here. So I think all we're going to try to do is we're going to ditch 1 for 2 ICP. We'll Dull Quit this for 1 more, giving us 3.
Yep.
We will play Surgus, and I owe you a Limit Break card. So now my Limit Break deck is exhausted. When Surgus enters the field, I may select one of the 2 following actions. Choose a forward Dull It, or choose a forward Freeze It. I'm going to attempt to freeze this Leviathan.
I have no responses.
Cool. A frozen water snake. And I will pass at that point, or attempt to pass.
I will accept. Activate. Draw 2. I need to check. Isn't that good? I didn't see what they were, but if
I'm
you're
not showing you, I'm showing the camera.
I know, but the fact that you're showing them off.
So the audience can see
Yeah.
what I'm about to do to you.
Oh, I don't like that.
I know, right?
Wow, that is mildly upsetting. That's actually more than that's incredibly upsetting.
That good, huh?
Yes, indeed. I will discard this Leviathan for 2 water CP, this Realm for 2 water CP, and I will dull these 2.
Oh, are we going to see another Luna Freya?
We are, because I have noticed that I am out of 1-drop monsters, so that Realm cannot get any. And I will show you this Mott and this Noctis.
You are all fully paid, and I have no response to the auto ability.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will... Wow, if I trigger that Leviathan, bad things happen. Because I either have to put my 9-drop back in my hand or lose Luna Freya. That sucks. I will take the Thornton,
Sure.
and as it is a card with an X-Burst ability, I will opt to trigger that X-Burst ability.
I have no response to the Thornton being put on the stack either, so you can search whatever you
I
need.
will search for a card and add it to my hand. In this
Thornton
case...
goes to your hand already.
Yes. In this case... Oof. I don't like what's left in my deck. Oof. I will take this Ash.
Sure.
And then shuffle.
How many ashes have we seen? I feel like I saw one earlier.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
This goes to my
I
hand.
did see one earlier.
You may cut. You have to. And then I will... I feel like I'm one freeze, or one doll away from dying, so I kind of have to do this. I will ditch a Leo for 2 water CP.
Sure.
Doll Sylvester for 1 water CP.
Sure.
And play that Ash.
Sure.
Now, you may notice she normally costs 6 water CP. I only paid 3.
Yeah, you did.
That's because the cost required to cast Ash is reduced by 1 for each water backup I control, and I happen to control 3.
Fair enough.
When she enters the field, choose a forward. I will choose Surges. Until the end of the turn, it loses 2,000 power for each water backup you control.
All right,
Unfortunately,
so it loses 6,000 power.
Not enough to kill it. I kind of just needed to make sure that you couldn't just dull Luna Freya and kill me.
Fair enough.
It's another body is what it is. I will pass.
Active phase. Draw phase. Main one. Oh, man, we are so good at this game. We are so good at this game.
Yeah?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right. Well,
we're pretty bad, actually. All right. I am going to ditch a Shiva for 2 CP, ditch an Alhanalem for 2 CP, dull these 2 for a total of 6 CP, all of which is ice,
Yes.
to play Neo Exdeath.
oh, I see.
Neo Exdeath is also card name Exdeath in all situations, so I could not play a Neo Exdeath and an Exdeath on the field at the same time.
Indeed.
Yes, because they don't have the multiplayer or multi-card icon. At the end of each of your turns, you have to select a character you control and put it into the break zone. So it's a select, happens at resolution, and it's a put in break zone, not a break. Also, when Neo Exdeath is chosen by your summons or abilities, you have to do the same thing. Select a character, put it in the break zone. And at that point, I will attempt to pass turn to you.
I will accept. That's... okay. Yeah, we can work with this. Can we? Yeah. Most likely. I will ditch a Sylvester for 2 water CP.
Sure.
This Warrior of Light. We'll take fire CP just for the fun of it.
Now, notice, though, that you can only take 2
1,
fire,
yes.
2 wind, 2 earth, or 2 water. You can't split those
You got to pick a color.
Yep.
And then I will lose after 1 more water.
So you have a total of 5 CP, a mix of water and fire.
Indeed. I will play the Thornton.
Sure. You get to search for any card you want. We
Indeed.
just saw that happen last time.
I will search for this Leo.
Sure.
I am kind of amazed that I'm going to get to do this in the practice game. But things worked out that way. I will pay 1 and play this Leo.
Sure.
I must control characters of cost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to cast Leo. I have 1 of every and a ton of 6s, man.
You got a lot of 6s.
I cannot play Leo due to summons or abilities, so I can't cheat him out like I did that Titus earlier in this game. When Leo enters the field, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, cast 1 card among them without paying the cost, and return the others to the bottom in any order.
Sure.
In
Now,
this
look,
case,
I don't get to
yes,
see.
some terminology going on here. You don't get to see these, and also the card is cast, so if the card cares about being cast specifically,
Correct.
that works. I will cast this Arc.
Oh, no!
The cost required to cast Arc is reduced by 1 for each CP required to cast the highest cost Arc forward you control.
Doesn't matter, you're getting it for free from Leo.
Choose one forward opponent controls, break it, your opponent discards 2 cards. I will choose Neo Exdeath.
All right, now Neo Exdeath automatically responds. Are you done with priority here?
I am done with priority.
Okay. He is automatically responding because when he is chosen, you have to select one character you control and put it in the break zone.
Yes.
So that ability is now on the stack on top of Arc for it to resolve first. So you have to get rid of a character. I have nothing else I want to do. You are clear to select a character.
So here's the thing. We have a Cleone effect that you have failed to notice. I wanted to see if you would notice.
Oh, yeah. We forgot about this when we played the other day, too. So this is illegal. Well, it's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
Everything we did was legal. So this is all on the stack that exact way. However, this technically goes on the stack on top of this, but before this. Because this was triggered by the same thing.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take advantage of his effect. Because it will resolve first. I will take this Cleone and put in the break zone. When he's put from the field in the break zone, draw a card.
You don't have that option.
Why not?
Because this is an auto ability, you have to put this in the break zone already.
Believe, is it not at resolution?
It's when either player casts a summon, put Cleone in the break zone.
Damn.
So yeah, you can't cheat it that way. It would have been cute.
Well,
hold on. This should be here.
Yes.
And it's
And
attempting
then
to
Neo
cancel
X-Death.
Arc.
Yes.
Yes. And now Neo X Death is on top of that.
I have a draw card underneath Neo X Death from it hitting the break zone.
That's going to happen, under...
I'm just making sure it's in the stack there.
Neo X Death wants you to sack somebody.
I will sack... Nah.
It's a character.
I know, but Thornton gets a card when he hits the break zone as well, so I'll draw an extra card this way.
You're going to win.
I know.
So it really didn't matter. But yeah, that's fine. Now, Arc...
I'm not going to win. Neo X Death won't die.
Oh, yeah, because he's not dying. Yeah. Okay, so now Thornton has hit the break zone.
Fine. Draw a card.
You have to draw your card first.
And then...
Okay, now...
Draw a card.
Now draw a card from Cleone.
Then...
Now Arc gets canceled by Cleone. And Leo can't attack this turn, but these three, in theory, could.
For what it's worth, I just looked at some really bad cards, so I went for the funny.
Gotcha.
There was like 2 realms in there,
it was funny because we forgot about it when we were playing the other day, and then we went outside and we're talking about the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think you arced while there was a Cleone.
I just got a really bad reveal off Leo, so I went for the funny to see if you would notice, and then you didn't, which made it a good opportunity for this. Yeah.
So you still technically are in main 1.
Yes.
All you've really done is play a Leo.
Yeah. I'm just happy I got to do that. In my main 1.
See, I thought you would want to keep the Thornton.
To recast the Leo?
To recast the Leo at some point.
I know what's left in my deck.
Oh, okay.
I will discard Larsa for 2 RCP. Tap Dull Sylvester for 1 RCP.
Total of 3.
I'll cast this Leviathan.
Sure, so you're going to choose
It's
one.
actually, it really worked out that I got rid of Cleone, because now this will resolve.
This will.
I will go ahead and put Leo back in my hand, and Surges back in your hand.
Sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So it goes back to my hand and immediately here.
Yes.
Now you have to choose Neo X Death twice.
Yes. I will do that.
With Leviathan.
I have to resolve his... Yep.
Neo X Death wants you to sack a character and sack a character.
And this time I will take up
Because
Kalu.
it's every time he's chosen.
And Waka.
Yep. And then that's a 9,000 power loss and a 9,000 power loss. Which is more than the 10,000 overall.
I will go to combat.
You are good.
I managed to squeak this out.
We'll see. We'll see.
Experts me to death. I'll start with Luna Freya. I'll declare an attack.
I have nothing to block with and no response. I will take the damage. It is not an X-Burst for damage 5.
I will swing Ash.
I have nothing to block with and no responses. I will take the damage. It is not an X-Burst.
I'll swing Leviathan.
I have nothing to block with and no responses. I will take the damage. It is not an X-Burst. I lose 7 to 6.
I'm glad we had that one recorded even without... I'm glad we had
When I showed the camera, it was all 3 of them.
I'm glad we recorded this game even without being a practice game, because that series of events at the end was absurd.
Yeah.
I actually needed to use the Arc to break Cleone, or I wouldn't have been able to cast that Leviathan without it being canceled.
I was messing with Mateus in the deck as the only X-Burst. Right now, there is no X-Burst.
These were the other 4 reveals, and Sahagin Chief was not about to win me the game. So,
right.
This would have been canceled. These didn't have... I mean, they could have gotten me a Sahagin Chief. Like,
Well, that's it. A goofy game, certainly off meta, and probably not played optimally on either side here, as particularly for the first half of the game, we're really trying to
Yes.
give you examples of many, many things. And I hope we did just that, and I hope you enjoyed this entire series. If so, tell a friend, buy a starter deck, and get your butt to locals. We'd love to see you at some of the next events. Torchwick, thank you so much for helping me out.
You're
Get
welcome.
this recording together.
we're not going to talk about
The
what
cards you
happened,
just
right?
dropped on the
No,
ground. Thanks so much. Until next time, stay safe. We'll see you out there on the servers. Later.